Hello guys and welcome to a new episode on my channel where I kind of did a bit of weird gluing to get things to work nicely. Well, as you can see already, I have the telemetry slash development SDK enabled, so this means it will get pretty dirty. So let's stay along and see how things go. Computer, roll the intro. Ever since I played ETS for the first time, I really liked the game actually. Well, as you can see, I've done quite a lot of modifications to it. Not in the mod way, but in the I have a FPS counter all the time at the top. I have really easy access to the console, etc., etc. So I was wondering, what can you mod without installing a mod? Which is kind of weird, but there's one thing that have always bothered me on ETS2, which is the navigation system. Say what you want, I really don't like it. And that's where the project Trucknav comes in. Trucknav is actually a pretty cool navigation system that you can have open on your phone, mount next to your PC, or have open on a second screen or a second PC. I chose the latter. Opening it on a second PC might probably be the best option. So I did. And guess what? It worked really well. I really appreciate it. And wait, actually, before I talk too much about it, here's a live demo of how things work. I mean, not on a technical level, but on a demonstration level. On a technical level, this was kind of annoying, but it was possible. So this is not a review on how I made Trucknav working. Well, it kind of is, but in a weird way, because you see, usually you would install Trucknav on Windows, but I run Linux, and for that matter, I Euro Truck Simulator to Linux native build, so you can see where this is going. Because the Trucknav thingy relies on telemetry for the ETS or ATS exe. So this is just a plugin that you install, a DLL or SO file depending on which OS you are, and it is kind of easy. So you just have a telemetry folder exposed somewhere on your system then, which Trucknav you have a telemetry folder exposed on your system somewhere which Trucknav can access. But only on Windows. See, there's the problem. If you try to run Windows apps on Linux, you usually would use Proton. But because Euro Truck Simulator natively uses Linux, so I actually have the build of Linux for ETS, it is kind of an annoying thing to do. Because, yes, the exe file and the SO file that are there for Windows work, but that's not really helpful because all of this system stuff runs on Linux. So the telemetry is exposed in a Linux folder and not in something that Wine or Proton or Windows can understand. So we had to build a bridge. Yeah, basically, this is everything I did. I built a bridge between Euro Truck Simulator on Linux, the Trucknav thingy, so that it can communicate to each other. And actually, this was a lie. I didn't build this. I let AI build all of this. For this matter, the thing has a lot of issues. For example, the complete top bar on ETS, like on Trucknav, the complete top bar on Trucknav is kind of broken. The speed doesn't really work, the fuel doesn't really work, the time doesn't really work, the bed time doesn't really work. This is also the reason why I excluded it in this demo. As you can see, you cannot see it. But here's a picture for good measurement how stuff should look like. Editor, can you please Thanks, perfect. So, what did I really do? Honestly, there's a lot of work to still be done because I only asked AI yesterday to finish something in 20 minutes, which should definitely take way more than 20 minutes. or like 10 minutes actually only. And I never even watched the code. I never looked over the code. I committed it on my Git repository, which will be in the link down in the description, and I will probably show a URL on screen like right in the middle, right now. And it's pretty cool. It works really easily. You just have to launch bun or npm, whatever you prefer, the script name, and you also only have to launch, and you also have to launch Trucknav the way you would usually launch it on your desktop. And voila, it loads perfectly fine in after you waited way too long. Because, see, something weird is going on. I don't really know whether it is the translation or the sheer fact that the system crashes a lot during trying to load the exe file. I am not sure. I don't know. I know for a fact it tries to open a PowerShell, which I did not medicate so far, so the PowerShell is still trying to be opened, so this is something to fix maybe, or to patch in the code later. Actually, I was wrong with all of this. This is not ETS's fault or the translation layer's fault. It's actually just my pure stupidity using an old Office desktop like thin client for the server because I tried it on my phone and it just works fine. I, for myself, actually put my script and the rest of Trucknav in one folder, so it just is one big npm repository that just has two launch arguments. However, the script itself will be shipped independently because I'm not planning on stealing Trucknav's work because they did great work and you have to actually download this from their repository, not from mine. I can build a patcher at some point, but honestly, right now I was just happy to get it working. If you have any issues, feel free to reach out. And now I'll actually just show you a little live demo of how to do this. Okay, see here is the folder with all of the stuff, and here you can also see the Trucknav bridge.mjs. You can just launch it. Well, first you have to install the dependencies, which is only WS. In the current repository state, it will be included, so you can just run npm install or bun install and it will install WS automatically. As soon as WS is installed, you can run it with bun or npm trucknav bridge.mjs. And then after that also launch the other like Trucknav server. There we go. They are running. See, like this. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Bye guys.